JF Stretford Paddock. This is Paddock Live, and I'm joined by my old mucker, Joe Smith. Do you know what? I felt lost last night without you. I was on my own, pointing over here, trying to get some advice and expertise on players that I was talking about. There's no one here.
Do you know the annoying thing was? If anyone watched that video last night, I was there. There just wasn't a camera on me. So I was like, I'm not talking.
Just had one shot.
Now I'm back now. Watch
He's
this.
back.
Look at this.
Good.
He's there already. We haven't spoken about him yet.
We're getting straight into it. We're going to be talking about Delict.
We're
going to talk about Eriksen.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, what's this about? Transfer guru coming from that mob down here on 62.
Yeah.
Is that what the world's coming to?
Interesting, isn't it?
Well, if you can't beat them, then get their best people. That's my motto.
Transfer guru.
Well,
first of all, we'll unpick what that means, and then we'll say who he is,
Yeah.
and then we'll say if he's coming to United, and then we'll say what that might mean for United. But you know what? If we can get someone to actually get some flipping deals through the door, I don't mind where he comes from, Jay. Liverpool, Nantwich, etc.
Exactly.
Don't know why I said Nantwich.
Is that on the way to Crewe?
I've never been. I've know nothing about it. We're getting nods from behind the camera. Nantwich is on the way to Crewe.
Yes, there you go. You see,
breaking
we've
news.
cleared that up. Andrew Starkey, welcome to the Academy as well.
Yes,
obviously, it's live. Get involved in the comments and the chat and let us know what you think about all the latest stories. We'll give you the usual Frenkie de Jong update as well. And also, we've got a goalkeeper that could be arriving who, I'm not going to lie to you, Joe, until 70 minutes ago, I'd never heard of.
Yeah, that's true.
But don't let that put you off.
No.
So let's start. So we start with your man here then.
Let's start with Matthias
Because
Delict.
our new transfer policy revolves around 3 questions. Do you play for Ajax?
Okay.
Have you ever played for Ajax? Would you like to play for Manchester United?
If you answered yes to any 2 of these 3 questions, you will be bought by Manchester United this summer. Have you ever been to the Netherlands?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I'll be honest, that's a very good answer you've given there. I don't want to tell you too much, but so far, pretty good. Have you been to the Amsterdam Arena, for instance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Wow, look what we have here. A real gem in our midst.
Yeah.
Just if you play for Ajax, we'll sign you. That's
is it.
Manchester United transfer policy this summer. Have you played for Ajax? If yes, join the club.
Do you think we sacked those scouts, Jim Lawler and Marcel Boot, because we just went, we're not going to bother with scouting anymore. We're just going to buy players that play for Ajax.
Scouting is a myth.
Yeah.
Scouting is completely unnecessary when you only buy players from one club.
Yeah,
Jay.
you don't need it.
Yeah, exactly. It is completely unnecessary at this point. Let's have a look at this then. So United have taken concrete steps. You got done for taking concrete steps once, didn't you?
I had me chisel out. It took me hours to take them concrete steps and I got nicked.
Them ones outside the library, weren't they? In, Withenshaw.
Who needs on steps of the library anyway? You go in there and read books.
Who needs steps when there's a ramp right next to it?
Exactly.
You can walk up a ramp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's not be stupid.
So these concrete steps to get defender Delict. I mean, it says here as well, City win for him. Yeah. This feels like a De Jong type scenario of a player that was at Ajax, went to a bigger club, didn't quite live up to the expectations perhaps that they had of him. I mean, I think De Jong's had more success at Barcelona or been slightly better than Delict. Is that fair to say?
I think Delict had a bit of a slow start. I think he's doing pretty well there now, but he's not necessarily... I think he's still to take that sort of next big step to being like a top sort of centre-back in the world.
I feel there was more hype around Delict.
Yeah, well, he was the captain of Ajax at 19 years old.
From what I remember, I remember everyone raving about this kid. Like you said, oh, he's a new Clan Seedorf or whatever. Do you know what I mean? This wunderkind. No one can really live up to that kind of hype.
It's hard.
But like you say, he's been doing a little bit better. 70 million euros, which is 60 million quid, for us to get him. City interested, done okay at Juve. I mean, do you get the feeling this is happening? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't, but you know more than I do.
No, I don't think it will. And tell you what annoys me, and we'll sort of get to this with De Jong as well a little bit, but this is like, they want 70 million euros for him, which is what they paid for him roughly. I think it was 65 million quid roughly they paid for him, right? And maybe Delict hasn't been a failure of a signing, and maybe he hasn't, and maybe he's been better than he seems. And the same with De Jong. They want what they paid for him 3 years ago when he's been as good or slightly worse than what they expected, and therefore presumably worth slightly less than they thought. Yeah. And yet somehow we still have to pay the same. I know De Jong, the main reason De Jong would leave is because Barca don't have any money, but they wouldn't let him go if he was their best midfielder or that they thought he was absolutely worth it. So part of me thinks when United sell a player, we lose 10, 15 million quid on him. Look at Lukaku, I think we lost 10 million quid on him.
Di Maria,
we lost 10 million quid on him, about the same thing again. But for some reason, you can go to Barcelona, be slightly worse than we thought you'd be, but still pretty good, and still go for what you thought, you don't lose any value on you.
Yeah,
even though you have now less potential because you're in mid-20s instead of early 20s, and the club is desperate for money. We'll get on to De Jong a little bit in a bit, but I don't understand how come everyone holds their value unless we're selling them. But I just don't quite see this happening. It seemed like the rumours and all the reports suggest that it's central midfield first, then an attacker of some description, whether that be a winger or a striker, and then after that we can look at full-backs and maybe a centre-back after that. I think if we're spending 70 million quid on any position, it's probably not going to be centre-back.
No, I agree with you. I think that, we haven't got this amazing war chest that some of us hoped we'd have this summer. Some people say, it'd be great if we have 250 million quid around that mark to spend. We haven't. We've got around half that. So we're not going to go and spend all of it on De Jong and De Ligt.
No.
It ain't going to happen. I'd be very surprised if it does. I think this has originated from Calcium and Mercato.
Yeah.
Very hit and miss.
Sketchy at best.
Yeah, very hit and miss.
Yeah.
It's not one you'd hang your hat on.
No.
So, as always, we'll keep you posted. Loads of people getting in the chat. I think I saw Andy Tate there in the chat as well. The Eriksen Strangler was in there as well.
Interesting.
Big shout out to you. Danaya Arias says, we buy players at a high price and lose money when they are sold. What good business. I sense a hint of sarcasm there. Not as bad as Chelsea, though. They've had a right little bargain there with Romelu Lukaku, haven't they? That's like the Manchester United school of transfer negotiations.
Yeah,
Let's buy him for 100 million and sell him back to that club a year later for 7.
It took, I know it's obviously, that's a loan fee, but at least it took us 6 years to lose 90 million on Pogba. They've lost 100 million on Lukaku in 1. Who'd have thought?
I know.
That's even better than United, that.
That is some good going, that. It kind of makes sense to me. I won't get into that. We spoke about it last night. Marcus spoke about it on the Last Man Standing as well. And he was sort of saying, you know what, sometimes just get him out of the club, get him out of the dressing room, get him out of, contention.
Get him out of my sight.
Yeah, no, it does feel a little bit like that, doesn't it?
And that was the last time they really dipped into Daddy's wallet as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, one more before you get sent to jail. Please. Please, can we get Lukaku? Go on then, off you go. Oh, by the way, you've got to sell the club as well. And what were them loans? We're keeping those bad boys.
Don't worry about that, son, eh?
Great.
Paul Hurst from The Times, who's a friend of this channel, he's been on it before as part of the Tier 1 Transfer podcast. I had this in my news this morning.
Yeah.
Lisandro Martinez. What was the 2 questions or the 3 questions I said we asked players?
Question number 1. Have you heard of Amsterdam?
Yes.
Question number 2. Just fucking play for Ajax and we'll sign you. That's basically it, isn't it?
Those are the 2 questions.
Yeah.
He falls into the latter category.
Yeah.
He
plays for Ajax.
He plays for Ajax, so we want him, obviously. I mean, I like Paul Hurst. He's a reliable journalist, so I trust in what he says. But he's sort of saying here, this could happen, it could not. He's not really going, this is going to happen. The interesting thing for me wasn't the fact that Lisandro Martinez is among several options being considered, which is kind of makes sense. You'd think that Eriksen was looking at a player that he knows well. It's this thing here, or this sort of fact here, sorry. Eric Bailly, Phil Jones and Axel Tuanzebe. So he's on for a bit of a clear out here, Mr. Ten Hag, innit? Phil Jones, I think we've known that for years. It's if anyone will have him because he's on big wages. Axel, there was a couple of question marks. Doesn't surprise me after that loan spell at Napoli, was it?
Yeah.
Played 1 game, I think. Awful loan spell on the back of a pretty torrid time of it in his last season when he was at Old Trafford as well. Yeah. Not been a great spell for him. I think he just needs a permanent move somewhere to get his career going. Eric Bailly, am I allowed to say this? Bad vibes around Bailly.
Interesting.
Like, recently, haven't there? And I like Eric Bailly. He's a likeable guy. Yeah. But it does feel like he's not been happy. He feels a bit upset with his lot in life. And I'm struggling to be too sympathetic with him because whilst he is a very good defender, he's injured so many times. Yeah. How can you rely on him? You just can't. Well,
you know what I found interesting, Jay? Do you remember in 2019, I think it was, or 2020 even, I think maybe 2019, he signed a new deal at Manchester United despite being sort of injured a lot of the time and, struggling to make it into the first team. Then just, I think, 18 months later, Jay, despite making, I think, 6 league appearances in the interim, signed another 4-year deal at Manchester United. He signed 2 contracts in 18 months, Eric Bailly, and now we're sat here going, what do you mean he's annoyed? What do you mean he's pissed off? Because he signed 2 deals and played about 40 games in 5 years.
He's played since he arrived. I was reading this. I think this morning. I think 113 games since 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awful.
That's just, again, we can like you. You can have all the potential. You can have all the talent. If he'd never been injured, I have no doubt. If he had Harry Maguire's injury record, I have no doubt he'd be starting for Manchester United every week at the moment.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, and it's a shame. And he wants to. Again, you don't feel bad saying it because, based on what we heard last summer from his sort of entourage and those sorts of rumours, it sounds like he'd like to go anyway. Which fine, that's all right. You don't have to stay at Man United. I don't think they want all 3 for him. Personally, maybe you can pick one. Or what we should do is write each name on the back of a card, flip them over, go to Alex like that, pick one. We'll give you 40 million and which one you got? Don't say no more. Say no more. Just a little sigh there. Oh, unlucky. Could have had. Look, they are both there. Oh no, you could have had them ones.
Oh.
Shame.
Can we just scroll down to that super chat as well, please? I missed the name. Is it the hippie? Happy even. Happy. Sorry for getting off topic, but have you seen Poggamentary getting 1.1 rating on Internet Movie Database? It's the best thing happened to humanity. Much love, lads. Yeah, I saw that. Someone sent me a link to that. Loads of people leaving negative reviews. I'm personally done with the Pogmentary thing. I'm not watched it. I'm not bothered. Paul Pogba can go and he can have a fantastic career at Juve or he cannot do well at Juve. I'm almost not bothered.
You know what?
To be honest with you, I'm all Pogba'd out.
Yeah,
I think
too.
is the right term because I've had 11 years of it. What's that chat from Cuckoo there say? Scroll down a little bit.
Whether you like Paul Pogba or not, do not desecrate the sanctity of the IMDb rating system.
Do you rate that? Pardon the pun.
Where would we be without it? Would Shawshank Redemption be widely regarded as the greatest film of all time if it went for IMDb? No.
Right.
Would,
are you an IMDb?
I don't mind IMDb, yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes,
I think they're all right. I actually think, even though IMDb is slightly more like snooty, like you can't get a 10 out of 10, whereas you can get 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. I think Rotten Tomatoes is actually better if you like movies because it's easy to get a high rating, which basically means you might like this type of movie because there's loads of movies that have got low ratings that I like.
Yeah.
But
IMDb Dead Man's Shoes has got a low rating.
Yeah, exactly. But Rotten Tomatoes tends to be slightly more lenient, which I think is better.
Sorry, that's on Rotten Tomatoes.
For fuck's sake, get rid of them both.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I'll tell you what, actually, if we can move that little box out of the way of what I was about to say. Oh no, hang on. Now I'm with you. There we go. Summer is here.
Oh my God. How hot has it been today, Jay?
It has been very hot. And you know the best way to cool yourself down?
Have no bollock hair.
Well, that is one way, or have well-groomed bollock hair, which can be equally as refreshing and cool and aesthetically pleasing.
That's what people aren't talking about. Yes, obviously, it helps reduce the amount of sweat because you haven't got basically a jumper on at all times. But also, my word, does it look good, Jay?
It does look good. And thanks to our friends at Manscaped Trademarks, you can get 20% off and free shipping of all the latest technology they've got. They've got the Lawnmower 4.0 technology, yeah? That's the official sort of MVP of summer, right? That's what you want, yeah? For summer, you want to get yourself looking good for your holidays, then you need to get the Lawnmower 4.0. Yeah. You need the performance package. It's got the Crop Preserver ball deodorant. It's got the Crop Reviver toner.
What?
It's not got any of that. Listen, if you need your cock reviving, you need to go and take some tablets or something, not Manscaped. That's not what they're here for. Go and speak to Pele about that one. You've got your performance boxer briefs. You've got a travel bag to hold all your goodies. You've got all that jazz. Yes.
I don't want to be too Bradley Walsh and just make it up, but that was really funny, Jake. Oh, God.
So you've got everything you need.
Everything.
And you know what I love about this? Not just the advanced skin-safe technology to stop you getting all their nicks and cuts, but I'm at that age. I need the old weed whacker. I'm getting the nose and the ear hair. It's where I'm at. I'm 42. It's that time of my life, the autumn of my life.
In the past, you told me you used to sit in Piccadilly Gardens off your tits.
Yeah.
And you'd fill, you know the little nooks there?
Yeah.
You'd fill them with birdseed.
Yeah.
And then all the pigeons would come down and land, and hopefully, whilst they were frantically noshing on your ear meal, you'd hope they'd take the hairs with them. And that's just not a good way to do it,
That is very true. That's what I used to do. And I used to have a magnifying glass. I used to lie there.
Yeah, well, I bet you did, yeah.
And burn my nose hair with the magnifying glass using the sun.
It's just unwieldy.
And it was just with the pigeons in my ears and the magnifying glass. It was no wonder I was single for quite a while.
Exactly.
And then, you know, I got rid of all that when Manscaped came on the scene. And now I've got, you know, a missus and 3 kids. So that's all you need to know about Manscaped. You're going to get 20% off. You get free shipping. You get the boxer brief. You get the crop reviver.
They've got everything.
Crop reviver. You get the toner. You get the weed whacker. You get all that stuff. The lawnmower 4.0. Yeah, what more do you want? And a little bag as well, so you can act like you're coming off the coach at United or wherever, like you're a footballer, giving a little thumbs up to the camera like you're on Sky Sports. We love all that, don't we? Yeah, 20% off and free shipping using the code Paddock Live. Links in the description. Your balls will thank you.
In the description.
Yes. Now, shall we move on to something else?
Oh, I'd love
Shall
to,
we?
Jay. As much as I like your cock reviver or whatever the hell you said then by accident, I think we should talk about football a little bit more. And not just football on the pitch, but what about above the pitch? The sort of the ever-present sporting director overlord.
Yes.
That seems to be the only thing that matters at a football club these days. It's not the players, Jay. They're neither here nor there when it comes to a football club. It's not the manager. It's not even the owners. It's what lies betwixt.
Betwixt. That's a word you don't hear very often.
You don't, do you?
Betwixt.
It's what lies between all that, and that is the football sporting director, whatever you want to call him, director of football, sporting director, Michael Edwards. Have you ever heard those words before?
Of course I've heard those words.
Yeah.
I'm a man in the know. Yeah, I keep my finger on the pulse, and I know the reason for any faint success that Liverpool may have had over the last 5 or 6 years.
Klopp.
Isn't anything to do with Klopp. Yeah? Oh, look at me, I'm wearing a cap and shouting at people when no one's listening to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm moaning about the pitch or the wind or VAR or whatever. Pathetic. We know the real reason for their success is, what's his name again?
Michael Edwards.
Michael Edwards.
Now,
yeah?
in all honesty, he's left Liverpool, and now...
Of course he's left them. He's done all that hard work, right? He's got in all these players that any muppet could manage to success.
That's true.
And he's watched them blow the quadruple they were banging on about. No wonder he's left. I'd have left too. I've given you Van Dijk, yeah? I've given you Sadio Mane, and you've gone and sold.
What, 1 title in 32 years?
That's not good enough. No. Well, I'm here at the Champions League final with my friends and my family, and you've lost.
Yeah, to Real Madrid again.
Yeah. Unreal.
Disgusting.
So I'm off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and sit in my house and wait for the call from Erik ten Hag. Yeah, and I'll pretend I used to be at Ajax, so I'll get the job.
So, for anyone who doesn't know who he actually is, Michael Edwards is the sort of sporting director type. You know, he came in as a head of analytics in 2011 with Liverpool, and then had a sort of few promotions and became the sporting director. So basically, you know, let's call him a high flyer, if you will, because that's a pretty decent trajectory to go on, that, isn't it? He was the one that sort of oversaw the likes of Alisson, Van Dijk, Mane, Salah. Those sort of transfers that came in, exactly how much, you know, he was ringing them up and sort of pointing them out to people, who knows. But he was the sporting director that's seen Liverpool's transfer success. To be honest, it has been pretty good on it. And as much as it annoys me to say it, their hit rate is a lot higher than Manchester United.
Even their misses, they get money for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is it Minamino they've just got rid of, I think. Yeah. You know, there's some players that are touted as being this, that and the other. They're not, but they still get decent money in for the players. Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't need to be a genius to go and get Alisson Becker or go and get Virgil van Dijk. But Mo Salah in particular was a great find. Yeah. It pains me to say it.
And to be fair, like even Van Dijk, again, they spent a lot of money on him. But when he was at Southampton, I thought he's a very good, you know, Premier League standard defender. I didn't think he would go on to be, you know, one of the best in the world or best in the world type, you know, conversations.
Do you know
I didn't think he was that good.
With Van Dijk as well, is as a United fan, you don't watch Southampton that often. My overriding memory was Martial just destroying him. Yeah. And you think, 75 million, really? I wasn't that bothered when they got him. And you know, when I knew what he was going to do, I'd have been very bothered about it. Yeah. But yeah, this guy, listen, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not pretending to know loads about him, but he certainly has a very successful sort of CV under his He's a very successful spell on his CV.
Yeah.
You look at the players you've mentioned, look at how Liverpool, first title in 32 years. If he's played any part in that, that's a success because they waited for so long. And the hit rate with their transfers, it's like the opposite of ours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to sit here and praise Liverpool Football Club, but they've been getting transfers right. We haven't.
Yeah.
We're doing a video. You and Joe McGrath are doing a video tomorrow, which should be out tomorrow as well, where you're going to look at our transfer record post Sir Alex Ferguson, and it almost makes you cry, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look at just how sort of poor it's been, and not just the fact that we've lost money on so many players, but even if you'd have sold them at their peak at United, you still wouldn't have made profit on them.
No.
It's a transfer record that it's actually quite shameful, really. And I don't even blame half the players because the systems they were put into, just weren't set up properly. But yeah, the United's transfer record for the last decade has been awful, and we'll have a look through that tomorrow. But apparently United also keen on Brentford's director of recruitment, Lee Dykes, Middlesbrough's head of football, Kieran Scott, and these, people who remain kind of behind the scenes.
The sad
hidden,
thing,
but this is the main, target.
About all this is that it makes sense. This new setup makes sense. Getting football people in to do football things, it's logical. It's just a shame that it's come so late. This is what we should have been doing in the summer of 2013 when Fergie retired. We should have said, right, that's the old era gone. Yeah. We're not going to go out and get another Sir Alex Ferguson. Football's moved on. We need football people as well in footballing positions. And we didn't. We had Ed Woodward thinking he was playing football manager, and it settles back, 10 years or whatever, or 9 years. So we'll see how this pans out.
Just
what
someone
happens with
asking
that.
what the source on that is. That's the Daily Mail that are going with that one. But
Daily
going
Mail
for it is a big exclusive, aren't they? So they're keen on it. They think it's going.
Solo, Errol, good to see you from the United Agenda. Abinab Chiteri says 1.7k watching, but 107 likes. That's a shame. Hit like. If you're watching, hit like. Let's get to 500 likes, right? We did it last night. Joe's here now. Easy. We should be able to do it like that, yeah? Hit that like button. Come on. What are you laughing at?
Joe's here now.
Joe's here now. So if I can get 500 likes, with you here, we can get at least 550.
That's true.
Yeah?
I love that.
Right, wrong. Yeah? Good
correct.
2 words.
What?
Eriksen, Christensen. No. Christian, Eriksen. Christensen, Eriksen. No. But the question is...
what are you saying?
What is the question we would ask any player coming to United?
Have you ever played for Ajax?
And what's the answer from Christian Eriksen?
He came through Ajax.
Even though that's him in Denmark top. He has played for Ajax, yes. So obviously, we're in for him. But unlike the others we've been linked with, this one, dare I say it's likely?
I don't know, because it almost seems like we might get him because no one else wants him anymore. Can we just get someone, Jay? I'm getting told
no one else wants him.
Brentford, it seems like it's Manchester United versus Brentford. So here's what happened, right? Tottenham declared some interest. They went to him and went, would you fancy playing for us next season? And he went, oh, I'll let you know. United went up to him and went, you should play for us next season. Here's the money, here's everything. And he went, oh, I'll let you know. Brentford did the same thing. Then Tottenham seemingly have gone a bit cold on the whole thing. They're sort of going, we're not sure anymore, we don't know if it's right. And then so now it's left between Manchester United and Brentford, Jay. And Eriksen is going, let me think about it. That's what's happened. I don't understand that. Because even as someone who's running out of optimism for Manchester United, we're still better than Brentford.
Do you know what it is, Joe?
That's not
There's one thing that you can't sort of quantify sometimes, and I don't know how this is going to work out, but Christian Eriksen was at a pretty low ebb. There was loads of question marks about him after the Euros. People, should he play again? Will he be at the same level he was? Will he be able to play in the Premier League? Is it worth taking a chance on him? And Brentford did. Brentford went, come and play for us. So they did that for him, showed him a lot of love. He was very successful there. 7 wins in the last 11 games he played, which is, a record that United fans would be envious of if you look at our last 11 games of the season. So maybe there is a little bit where he's like, do you know what? These guys sort of saved my career, but certainly, helped it in a massive way. Because people were going, looking at it going, Christian Eriksen, nah, I don't think so. So maybe, I don't know, but maybe there is that a little bit of an emotional thing where he's going, I owe these guys a little bit and I was happy here and came in from it. Do I want to go to United where I might not play every week or whatever? I don't know. He is 30, so you'd imagine he wants first team football quite regularly, but the sort of flip side to that is, like you've just said, you cannot escape the fact that Manchester United, even after a season we've just had, are a much bigger club than Brentford.
Yeah.
It's not even a discussion about the size of the club or where they're going as well.
Yeah.
Brentford ain't going to finish above Manchester United next season. Let's just get that
Clip
one.
that up.
Yeah, clear that up. Famous
They're
last
not.
words, but they're not.
No.
And also Brentford, you know, you can go anywhere in the world and ask about Manchester United, and people could name you, 50 players that have played for United.
Yeah.
They struggle to name you one that plays for Brentford or where they play.
Oh,
or
David
who they
Brentford
are.
from The Office.
Thank you, well done.
That's what they'd say.
So, can we just find that tweet by Romano about that kid from Derby? We've not had it as well.
On Eriksen, and again, not to sort of knock him, because I think he would be, on a free transfer, he'd be a great option. Rotation with Bruno, he helps us play a different style of football, I understand all that. But let's not pretend that the question marks around his career or around his quality came during, when he had his heart problem. That isn't.
No, you make a good point. Sorry, you make a good point.
2 to 2.5 years before that was when he was out of the Tottenham team. He was sort of ostracised and pushed to one side there. Then he went to Inter Milan. Didn't really make his mark on that team either.
No.
Then is what we saw in the summer. So it's not as though that was the thing that's made everyone question him. He's had 2.5 years of not really finding first team football in England or in Italy before that happened. So really, this sort of Brentford stint is, 6 months of the last 3 years he's been at a level you would assume to be good enough for Manchester United. I don't think if we missed out on him, it would be the end of the world. However, what I would quite like is for Ten Hag to start getting some of the people he wants, regardless of whether I think Christian Eriksen is a great player or not. I think he's a very good player, but I question whether he's at the quality he was 3-4 years ago when he was one of the best in the Premier League. But let's just start getting people. And I'm not saying get someone if they're not good enough, but if Ten Hag wants him, if Ten Hag likes him, go for him. Surely surely we can get him to join Manchester United. But maybe to do that, we'd have to give him 200 grand, and it would all be, hilarious when he starts 6 games for us, and we're back in a situation that we've seen over and over again.
Maybe. I think maybe there's an element as well in situations like this where you have to sell it to him.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to sell Manchester United to win. Well, you should. That's just the way the world. You can't go, you come to United because we're United. You've got to say to someone, listen, we haven't got Champions League football, but here's how you're going to fit into the system. Here's what the manager expects of you. Here's why it's a good idea for you to come here. Here's where where we think you're going to feature. All that sort of stuff. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. To sell the club to a player somewhat. I don't know if that's the case, but it looks like Eriksen's got a decision to make anyway. We'll have to wait and see. Get involved in the comments and the chat. Let us know what you think about Christian Eriksen. From what I've seen on socials and from what I've seen in comments before, most people seem to be for this.
Yeah,
from
me
what
too.
I've seen a lot of positivity. Sean Brooks says was in good form before the Euros. Mate, someone's saying rumour with legs. What are you smoking on this channel? You literally puff on every rumour.
Well, we're just telling you what people are saying.
It's
That's all.
like,
Giving our
what
opinion.
we do is we give our opinion on the stories that are doing the rounds. Some of them you think, okay, there might be something in them.
Yeah.
Some of them we don't think there is. One that seems to be a lot in. And this was a tweet by Fabrizio Romano. This is this kid from Derby County, Malcolm. I'm going to mispronounce this, but I'll have a go anyway. Malcolm Ebiwoe won't join United. He's set to sign his contract with Crystal Palace after medical's completed this week. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
We'll leave Derby County to join Palace. Contract valid until 2027.
So here's what's happening, Jay. We're being told, player chooses Crystal Palace over Manchester United. United fans must be fuming, must go ballistic.
Outrage!
Well, here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go mental at that, because you can either go to Crystal Palace and have half a chance of starting games for them, or you can come to Manchester United and probably be
loaned out straight away,
or be in the reserves all season, or in the academy, to progress. He's 18 years old, is he? I'm not going to be offended that a player wants a bit more guaranteed game time rather than taking the step to Manchester United. It might be too soon for him. Have you ever considered that? Maybe it's too soon for him to be playing for Manchester United. I don't know whether he's good enough to start for us. I doubt it. I don't think that would be the plan. If they're offering him more obvious and realistic game time, that isn't necessarily United, made United in the mud, United look shit, we can't even get someone over Crystal Palace. That's not the situation here, is it? Or am I just being, too optimistic? It feels like that is almost being sold to us, so United fans will go ballistic. But I'm not going to go ballistic. I'm not that annoyed at that. It makes sense.
Yeah, listen, Palace, I know they finished 12th, I think. They won 11 games last season, but did well under Vieira. Seems to be positivity around the club.
Yeah.
A lot of good players there, players that have been getting into, the England squad and getting international recognition. I don't blame him for going there. Also, I'm a massive fan of Charlie McNeil. I want to see him, he's 18 years old. The next sort of youngster I see getting a chance at United, I'd like to think Charlie McNeil. Maybe next season he goes out on loan, maybe doesn't, maybe he's in and around the squad. But I'm not going to lose my mind over a kid I know nothing about. Like, I'd never heard of him until a few weeks ago. I watched a little bit of Derby because I wanted to see them stay open and I was sort of watching, because of Wayne Rooney. I don't remember much about this kid at all, really. I barely remember him.
1 goal, 2 assists in 16 games last season, which is
okay. I'm not going to, it's neither in there, really, is it? I don't know, whether that tells you a lot. With an 18-year-old, loads of different things can happen. He can kick on, he can become, amazing. Things can't, quite pan out. We just don't know. It could be another Kiko Makeda, it could be another Wayne Rooney. You don't know. So we just have to wait and see. But personally, I'm not losing my mind on this one.
No.
And mainly because, like I said to you, we've got a good young striker in Charlie McNeil. And yes, if this kid would have come, I'd have been like, nice one, a good young player, arrives at the club, not a bad thing. But I think there's plenty of youngsters as well, not just Charlie McNeil, Joe Hugill as well. Who could be knocking on the door not too far in the distant future to get a chance. If you know something about him, though, get involved in the chat in the comments and let us know your thoughts on the matter. And don't forget as well to hit that like button. How many likes have we got, producer Callum?
He's scrambling.
What?
298.
248? 348? That is a disgrace.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's bad for you, isn't it?
Well, let's get
Like,
to
that must be
600.
quite
If
embarrassing
you're watching
for
the
you.
video, you haven't liked it, hit like.
Do you
Simple
know
as
what I mean?
that.
Because I was on my own last night and I got fine.
Yeah, sympathy likes. And I'm going to rub that in your face, Joe.
I mean, you're on here.
It's bad though, isn't it,
And we
that?
get, what's 348, 550? About half.
Good at maths as well,
Yeah,
AJ.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting there.
Hit that like button anyway. And if you're not doing it, subscribe to the channel. Daniel Backman, I presume. Yes, United are in talks with Watford to sign Daniel Backman as second or third choice goalkeeper. Now listen, the best reaction when City walk the league and go and get Erling Haaland, and when the Scousers win a couple of trophies, get to Champions League final, come second, and go and get Darwin Núñez, and Spurs go out and get Ivan Perisic, Yves Bissouma, and looks like they're in for Jed Spence as well. The best thing for United to do is to go and get a third choice goalkeeper, because that lets everyone know you're confident in the team you've got.
You've got to fight fire with fire, Jay.
Yeah.
If they're going Haaland, we're going Backman.
Yeah.
If you're going Núñez, we'll go out and get Chris Kirkland.
It's like when we finished 19 points behind City and we went out and got Lee Grant. That sent a message out.
It's called a statement of intent, Jay. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
That sent a message out. You can go and get Riyad Mahrez. We'll get Lee Grant because we're not bothered about trophies anymore. Because that's pathetic.
Trophies, as Pochettino once said, trophies are for the ego. Yeah? And if there's one thing we are...
How did the Glazers not get that, man?
I don't know.
It's just perfect for them. Trophies, get him. Trophies of ego, get him.
Perfect.
Yeah, and he'll get you top 4. He'll get you that Champions League football. Just get him.
It's mad that they didn't that, actually, when you put it like that.
Yeah.
It's mad that we ever went anywhere.
That's the most Glazer-like saying ever.
It
Like, it seemed destined to come in, but it didn't anyway. We've got Eric tonight, so I'm happy with that before anyone goes into it. Listen, I'm not having a dig at this kid, by the way. I don't know him. I'm certainly not having a dig at anyone that's, could be coming to Manchester United. It's just that it's a little bit comical to me that with all that's going on, it's the third choice goalkeeper that we sort of seem to be moving forward
Suggest that maybe a hint that Henderson will be on his way.
Yes,
out,
there was a few tweets doing the rounds at Dean Henderson. Looks like the move to Nottingham Forest is almost done. Well, just quickly on Henderson, because you, from my memory, and forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, you, I wouldn't say championed him, but seemed to be quite positive around him.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot to give. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I don't really understand the situation with our goalkeepers at the minute, because it seems as though we've got 2 goalkeepers that you probably wouldn't put at the elite level, but we're not looking to get another one. So I think we're sort of prioritising different places, and I understand that. I think Henderson is an easier asset to get rid of, And also, he's proven himself less than De Gea, let's be honest. I'm not going to stand here and say because he can catch the ball a bit better, therefore, he's all of a sudden definitely better than David De Gea. The one thing I would have said before is maybe he's done enough to be given a bit more of a chance, which he doesn't seem to be getting. So, it seems like Ten Hag isn't that bothered, and I think he's more sellable, more easily sellable in the future than David De Gea is. David De Gea is coming toward the end of his career. I know he's not particularly old, but that's the direction of his career. Dean Henderson's got 10 years left in him. So I think it makes sense to get a Premier League loan for Henderson, and then once he's got some confidence, either put him in the team or sell him next season. I think another loan is a good thing for him. So we're going to need someone else if Henderson's going, aren't we? So it makes sense. Get Dean Henderson Premier League football, whether it's with us or someone else, and then we can decide next season. Best for everyone, I think. Yeah,
Jonathan Schrager did a tweet about that, saying there's a confidence that Dean Henderson's loan move from United to Forest will be completed this week. No option to buy included. Low-grade comic collectors Global says Fernandes from River Plate should be #1 priority signing. Also, when is Motti a guest on Sloppy Joe's? Your podcast, Sloppy Joe's. I'm your mate. When am I on there?
Next episode.
There you go, that's a very good answer. Mohammed Jabbar says, thank you guys for keeping our spirits up in this window. No, Mohammed, thank you for all the support you've given us, and thanks to everyone else who's been involved as well. Mitsoka Marius, who's been a member of the Academy for 10 months, says, maybe we can finally get the Wesley Sneijder deal over the line. That was the Jadon Sancho of its day, wasn't it, Wesley Sneijder? Do you remember that well?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, it was exciting times, wasn't it?
I was in my blogging days then.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to get to the top of news now, Wesley Sneijder was the man. Yeah. He was just, everyone wanted to hear about Wesley Sneijder, and it was just the case of the same old stories doing the rounds of talks are ongoing, and deal has been agreed.
Did we ever even want him?
I think we wanted him. I don't know how sort of close we were to getting him. I think because we bought Jones, De Gea, and Young in that window, didn't we? We were linked with him, and the sad thing is Sneijder would have got us over the line for another title.
Yeah. 2012.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely worth a point. Which is all we'd have needed.
Yeah.
But we, again, maybe it was the, Glazonomics or whatever. It's like, man, Inter want this or whatever it was. Yeah. And do we really want to pay that much? Well, we'll be all right. We've already bought 3 players and we've just won the league. Yeah. We'll be fine. And then, you know what? We all know what happens. I won't need to go into it. Is that your lot, Joe?
That's everything from me, Jay.
That's the whole 9 yards, as they say in America.
Transfer guru.
Transfer guru. What do you prefer? Transfer guru, transfer maestro, or transfer...
Shaman.
Shaman, yeah.
I like the idea of a transfer shaman. Sorry, word has just hit me that we're on 499 likes. Get it up.
500 likes. Well done. We got there in the end.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's been a great shout, great performance from you, Joe, today. Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back.
No, it's, we've missed you on the channel. Thanks to everyone else who got involved. It's going to be me with the news in the morning. Joe's going to be here with Joe McGrath, sort of Sloppy Joe special, innit? And you're going to be going over where all our transfers went wrong. So that could be quite a long video, to be honest with you, because there's quite a lot of them that have gone wrong since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. So Joe will be getting into all that. If you've not done so already, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Big thanks to Manscaped as well. Go and check out the link in the description. Using the code Paddock Live, you get 20% off and free shipping. Your balls will thank you. I've been Jay Motti. That's been Joe Smith. Go and find him at Sloppy Joe's.
Sloppy Joe's podcast. Check it out. Link in the description.
Thanks for watching.